Augusta Gein was born in 1878 and she married in her 20s to George Philip Gein. Augusta was a very devoted woman to religion, extremely religious to a point that she believed that only she is the pure woman and every other women are harlots and or a shape of devil. She gave birth to two sons. First was Henry Gein and second was Edward Theodore Gein. And she would keep her children so isolated, so inside her arms that they never learned what is social skills. So this story is about what monster Augusta Gein created.
دیدم صنمی سرفدیر و جمالی
Durud, Namaste, Salam Alaikum. Today we are going to talk about Edward Theodore Gein, suspected serial killer and grave robber known as Plainfield health collector, Plainfield Coal, and the butcher of Plainfield. Edward Theodore Gein was born in 27th August 1906 and his brother Henry was born 5 years before her. Although the mother was so religious, she actually got married while she was pregnant with Henry. So it was a shotgun marriage basically in American culture, especially back then. If a woman would get pregnant without a wedlock, the father of the woman would go and actually put a shotgun on the head of the man and say, "You are obligated to marry my child." But after that, Augusta would act like she is the purest woman and she is being tested by God because her husband George was a drunkard and he was very abusive. He actually very rarely dared to raise hand on Augusta because if he would hit her once, she would hit him in a way that he couldn't get up. But he would beat the children very badly. And these beatings on the head left a permanent ringing sound in Ed's ear. Can I know what you're looking at?
What?
Huh?
Sorry, no.
Why you look like a 90s movies villain? Why are you sitting?
No, because I've obviously, like you know, I've just finished the show, so I am extremely excited to hear your side of it, and I might not ask too many questions and just get very indulged in listening to you.
Oh, that's okay. So they were living like Ed was born in La Crosse County in Plainfield, but in Wisconsin, sorry. But Augusta thought that La Crosse County is very crowded and it's full of sinners, and they are going to ruin her little angels. Like she would think of her boys as her little angels, which are very pure and all of that. So she decided that they are going to go out of the county and go to Plaintiff, which was a township of 700 people, and they bought a 16-acre land there. I think more. Anyway, I don't remember exact number of the land that they bought there, and they started living there. The only place Ed and Henry could go was to school and coming back, and they were not allowed to make friends. Actually, if they would make friends, Augusta would punish them, and it had happened to Ed that she would bash him and tell him that the only godly things that he has to do is to listen to his mother, do his chores, and do well in a school, which Ed actually was doing well in a school.
So she was physically violent with them.
Oh yeah, it was I think back then it was a normal practice of like
No, because you said
parents
the
just
husband was, but
husband was bashing type.
means he would get
Yeah,
drunk and just beat
but the
them up
mother was the type of like putting you, I'm going to put you on my lap
and teach you a
and
lesson sort of thing.
that kind of beating she would do. But she was so strict anyway that the sons were scared of her and they wouldn't dare to do anything or make friends or socialize or anything. Everything was like this till George died in 1940. So in 1940, Ed was only 34 years old and Henry was 39 years old. And they had to start doing odd jobs around the city because, hi, hi, hi. They had to do odd jobs around the city because they had to provide since the father had died. Anyway, the father also could never hold a job. Actually, the only job he could hold for a long time, ironically, was being a tanner. Do you know what is a tanner?
Yeah.
So, ironically, that was the
Yeah.
father's job. And I wonder because Plainleaf was a very small city. People used to provide their meat in hunting season themselves. So every family had a summer kitchen. The name was summer kitchen, which they would go in the hunting season, hunt and bring back the meat with be it deer or rabbits or other like hogs or any type of animals that they've been successfully hunted. They would bring it to a kitchen which was called summer kitchen, and that kitchen was only for uh, skinning the animal, taking out insides and like cutting it, preparing it, make it ready for like usage in future, like in the times that hunting won't be easy. Basically, hunting season is over. So they I was saying like the brothers started going to the city and taking odd jobs.
So, but
Henry
where they were
would
staying is, it was more of a countryside.
it basically not 16 acre, I think it was 1600 acres, and they had no neighbors, nobody. It was the isolation of
But that
isolation.
county that you are talking about, I don't think it really was a city at all, right? They probably had like, they were living on a farm and the closest thing was a small town.
That old county, you mean?
No, where they shifted.
Where they shifted was a township, not even a town.
Right.
But
So when you
like,
say they went to the city, did they actually go to the city or did they just go to the market of the township? Is what I
no,
mean.
they went to the market of the township. Like
Okay.
the closest township was Plainview.
Right.
So Henry and Ed would do odd jobs around the city, the Plainfield township. Henry usually would do like hardware jobs or like labor jobs mostly, and Ed would mostly do babysitting because Ed had a very low social skill and he didn't know how to approach elder people, like actually be in a society, act normal in front of people. So he was very good with children, and all the parents in Plainfield trusted him with their children, which right now I can say that it was a very strange thing that in the Netflix show they showed that children are scared of him. Children loved it. Like his main income was from babysitting, basically. And it went on and went on, and Henry found a long-term job in a widow's house. The widow had two children, And after some time, they got involved, like basically intimately. And he decided to move in with the woman. Obviously, Augusta was furious, shouting, cursing that you're the curse that your father left for me. I don't know what to do, this, that, very badly. And Henry would keep telling her that you are a very wrong woman, everything about you is wrong, and you're ruining Ed's life. I'm not going to let you ruin my life as well. So, on the side, Henry was trying to take care of his brother, his youngest brother, and he would keep telling him, see, Baba, the world is not what Augusta says. Um, you have to go out, you have to explore, you have to see women. Women are like the beauty of their life. Don't listen to mother. She's, for some reason, she's hurt, she's this, she's that. She enjoys, when father was alive, she enjoyed him ruining himself, basically. Maybe, sorry, peeing or pooping in himself, being out of being so drunk. And she used to enjoy that and doing those chores because she thought she's chosen by God to be, basically carry the what they say?
Burden?
No, what Jesus Christ carried.
Cross?
Yeah, they say, some people say I was chosen to carry the cross.
Right,
cross.
right.
So she was like that, like, oh, God has chosen me. And she has nothing after father has died, and these things that she's telling us, she used to make them sit since like they were 5 years old till now that we are talking about men in their late 30s. I think Henry was even, yeah, Henry was 43 when we are talking about. Still, Augusta's most favorite act of act of the week, activity of the week, was to make her sons to sit in front of her, and she would read the Bible for them. And two parts of the Bible she would love to read. First was the Old Testament, which is about how the world was created and how the women can be the devil himself or carrier of the devil's act and all of that. And second, she would read the last part of the New Testament, which is all about the doomsday and fire and people dying and going to hell and all of that. So she would enjoy this. I think the mother was the actual psychopath in this story is Augusta. Um, but Ed couldn't listen to this stuff. Like, Ed worshipped his mother, like all of his life. His mother became everything for Ed. Like, basically, he would worship his mother. I don't think he would even worship the Lord as much as he was worshipping his mother. So he couldn't listen to Henry talking ill of their mother. So one fine day, Edward was burning the basically some grasses which grow in the lands, and they are considered
Wild
as
grass.
wild grass, which are considered as like they are not good for your.
Yeah, they eat the plants.
They
Yeah.
eat the plants
Yeah.
and all. So he had collected them, and obviously you have to burn them. What else you have to do?
Right.
He was burning them, and the fire got out of hand. And maybe he did it like 10 in the morning. It took the fire department to turn the, like, put the fire down out in till 6 in the evening. And then after they put the fire down, Ed went conveniently to police station and said, I cannot find Henry. And the police was like, what? And he said, yeah, after the fire I cannot find Henry. Obviously, people all with their flashlights and all came out because Augusta believed gas, water pipelines, and electricities are all tools of devil. So they didn't have any of that in that big house.
They didn't even have electricity. Oh yes, I read about that.
Nothing they had. So they went in and they couldn't find Henry. And I'm laughing because then Ed goes to the sheriff and says, "Come, I will help you find him." And he directly takes him on top of Henry's body. And
Ed takes the sheriff.
No.
So, okay, I want to ask you something now, since I'm obviously going to ask you a lot of questions because I've just gotten out of watching the show. So, in the show, the only thing they show is that the brother was not living with them at that time. Is that the case, or was he living?
No, he was about to leave, like
to live with that widow.
To live, yeah, to move in with that widow and eventually marry her.
Okay.
Which another problem was that I think the mother was very worried. Maybe the woman was divorced. I don't know, but I know that one of the biggest sins in Augusta's eyes was divorce. That's why she didn't divorce the husband ever.
Right.
So tell me.
So I think, no, I'm just going to ask you these questions because I sort of watched the show from start to end and you were just watching it in bits. And obviously, I don't think you agreed with too much of what was. And they have obviously taken a lot of liberties while shooting the show to make it more dramatic, I assume.
No, at the end of the video, I will tell you my idea why it was like this.
Yeah, so my questions basically through this video at least are going to be certain things that even I was unsure about, and probably I'll get the answers from you. So that's all I'm saying.
So yeah, Henry was living with them.
Okay.
And he directly takes them to Henry, and they find Henry. He has nothing, he has no marks on him, nothing, he is just dead. And they take him in and they take him into the morgue and they write down the reason of their asphyxiation, which means dying out of breathing smoke inhalation. Yeah. So they write down that as the reason of death, and it finished. But later, in books that were written about Ed Gein, had come that Henry had bruises on his forehead and behind his head, enough to knock him out. Not kill him, but knock him out.
Right.
So actually he died out of asphyxiation, but somebody left him there to die. But we cannot be sure. Allegedly his brother. So after Henry died, it was Ed and his mom. It was his dream becoming true. But after maybe 2-3 months after Henry died, the mother had a stroke and she became basically bedridden. She could barely do anything, and Ed happily would do everything for her, from bathing to cleaning her poop and pee and feeding her and walking her, changing her position on the bed so she doesn't develop bed scars, all of that. And
a complete caregiver, basically.
Complete caregiver. Like his life was devoted to his mother. I don't know where they were eating from.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Like, how could they
afford it? I think they had savings. Like, it's not like they were eating like turkey and chicken every day. Usually eat like back then in America they used to like make.
Yeah, in the show they keep showing him the only thing he eats is canned food. Which is like pork and beans.
Yeah. Like beans and potatoes, like these kind of things they would make. It's not so expensive. So after 6-7 months of devoting himself, Augusta finally left the bed and got up. So finally, Augusta got well enough to start walking with a cane, and they would go around the city with each other, check this, check that. Ed went back to his jobs, which was labor and babysitting. And one fine day, they went to their neighbor key. It was not so close, but imagine there was another farmland close to them, which belonged to a man called Smith. And I think they wanted to buy a hog from him or something like that. And when they reached, they saw that the motherfucker is beating a dog to death. And he was beating the dog very badly. And a woman ran out of his house, came to him and tried to stop him and said, don't, he will die. And the dog died. After the dog died, Augusta all of a sudden got, well, obviously they were shocked out of what they saw, but not the shock you think. They didn't care that he killed the dog in front of their eyes. They were smothered with the fact that Smith is living with a woman that is not married to him. And Augusta got very mad over this thing, called the woman a Smith's harlot. I'm sorry for the slur. And she got very mad and turned back, walked to their farmland, and she had her second stroke, which was death. And in 29th December 1945, Ed Gein lost his mother. He was 39. After that, Ed Gein was the friendly guy around the city. Everybody liked him. He was shy. He was odd. Even in school, he was like that. He would laugh all of a sudden like he has told himself a joke.
Okay, so I want to interrupt you. So I think if I don't remember the dates clearly, so this part of the story you're in, Ed was already about close to 35, 40 years old?
39.
39.
Yeah.
So until then, there is no history of him doing anything.
No.
Throughout his teenage years, his.
No. Usually there is I understand other serial killers usually have a history of hurting animals or like being
Right.
violent. No.
Nothing in what did he even.
The only thing was that sometimes his ear would ring, which they thought it's because of his father hitting him a lot in the head.
Right.
So after that, Ed became the friendly neighborhood man, and he was there. Everybody liked to hang out with him, but not much. Like just talk to him. Hi Ed, what's new? What are you doing? And all of that. The only problem he had was that he would stare at women. Like when he was inside the playing field, he would stare at women till they go away, like in a very weird way. Like he would stare like this to women. Even one night, one of the neighbors tried to invite him over as a like nice gesture, and he made the mistake of inviting one of his wife's friends as well. And the whole dinner, Ed was staring at the woman. And it was so bad that the woman made food, said, thank you very much, it was a very good meal, but I am full now and sorry, I have to go home. And obviously they sent Ed also after that. But it was not the end of the story. At night, he came from the window of the son of the family's room in and sat on the child and told him, you have to tell me where that friend of your mother lives. And the child was
No, he went back to the same guest house.
Same neighbor's house.
And he asked the child.
He went inside the house.
Right.
Sat on the child's feet and told him that you have to tell me where this friend of your mother lives.
Oh, like the address to that woman he was staring at.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is where Aram
It starts getting weird. Yeah.
it starts getting weird.
The Augusta's death. You said they went to buy a hog or something. In the show, it is she goes there because they owe her $10, and she's anyway very pissed off with the fact that those people owe her money. And that was the first time she was out and about after her stroke, after she got out of bed. And she goes there, and then she sees that exactly what you said. She sees that guy with a woman, and obviously she thinks it's unholy and this and that, and she starts yelling her head off.
Yeah, that yelling she did.
She passes out there only and dies there.
No.
So that's
she went back home and she had a stroke and she died in her own home, and they did recently bury her next to Henry and her husband, which I had to say it earlier. So Ed had a 16 years old friend. Again, Ed Gein was not a PDF file. He didn't have social skills to be friends with mature people. So he had a 16 years old friend. One day that friend came to his house. Obviously he was friends with the family, and as I said before, all the playing field trusted Ed Gein with their children. Everybody trusted Ed Gein. Like, he was the first babysitter who would come to everybody's mind if they wanted to go out. So this 16 years old came to Ed's house and found a dried head. You know what is a dried head?
No.
So, like back in the war times, they would cut the head of the enemy and let it dry in the sun. So it would look like, if you search it, you can see. Let me show you. So he finds a dried head and he asks Ed, where is it coming from? And Ed says, one of my friends have brought it for me from World War II. Because it was going through, like it was
What, they shrink like that?
Yeah, they shrink like that. They become like it, and
naturally,
yeah.
Oh my God, that's creepy.
Yeah. But obviously the child didn't know. So that is the first creepy story of Ed Gein which came out, and nobody thought much of it. So yeah, obviously we are going through the second war. Somebody has brought him a head from somewhere and he's keeping it, whatever he's Ed. I forgot to say that after Augusta died, Ed kept all the rooms that she would use untouched, locked them, and kept them in perfect condition, which was her bedroom, the living room, the dining room. Basically, the most important rooms of the house.
Right.
They were all locked. He would never put his feet inside them, and they were the exact same way as the day his mother died. But the rest of the house he left it. He didn't care. He himself was living next to the main kitchen because, as I said, they had a summer kitchen, which is like a butcher house according to me, and they had a kitchen, and there was a very small room next to that kitchen, and Ed would live in that small room. So in 1954, Mary Hogan went missing. Mary Hogan was she was the tavern owner of the city. She was a jolly woman, born in 1899. She was 55 years old. and she was born in Germany and came with her parents to America at 11 years old. She had married twice, and as long as we know, she had only one child named Christine, which she gave Christine to her cousin, which funnily the name of the cousin was also Christine, to bring her up. And Christine didn't even know that she's not Christine's daughter. How confusing is this?
Right, that she was adopted by the aunt.
Cousin. Like
Yeah.
she had no idea that Mary is her mother. So Mary went missing, and the only thing which was left of her was a little bit of blood. And
Where?
behind the bar.
Behind the bar that she used to run.
Yeah.
Okay.
There were little drops of blood. And the city said, for sure she has run away with some man, because obviously the society didn't like Mary. She was a woman ahead of her time, marrying 3 times, giving away your child, running a tavern by yourself. God forbid, she used to curse so much that her closest friends, which usually were men, would call her Dirty Mary, and not like men friends as boyfriends, no, friends. Like his friends were men mostly back then, because this kind of behavior for women was very like shameful back then. So they said Mary has run away.
But it was a cop case? Is that why they found the blood?
Yeah, all of that was there, but
Right.
the
But
blood
like
was
open
not
case and
much.
she's run away.
The blood was not much that they can say like this has happened and
Right.
so exact date of death was December 8, 1954. May she rest in peace. So days were going, days like each other. Ed used to have his canned food in his unique bowls, which we will talk in seconds about. And 1957 came around. Bernice Warden was the owner of hardware store, and she had 3 children, and out of 3 she had one very brilliant son named Frank Warden. One day, it was hunting season. Ed was in the shop in the evening, and he and Frank and Bernice were talking to each other, the 3 of them, and Edward told Frank and Bernice that he doesn't have money with him at the moment, and he will come the next day to buy a gallon of antifreeze. And next day arrived. Since it was hunting season, the store was not so busy, so nobody realized. But at the night evening, like around 6 o'clock, Frank went to check on his mother and saw that the mother is not there, and the cashier is open. And there is her last login as Ed Gein, 1 liter of antifreeze. So naturally, oh, and there was blood on the floor behind the cashier. So naturally, he called out for backup, and he said, wherever you saw Ed Gein, arrest him and send group of people, including Archeli, which was very big in this series. Those guys went to Ed Gein's house, and Frank himself went inside the city to find him, and found him in a cafe and arrested him there and then. That was when Ed Gein was arrested.
So this is where they play it very differently in the show.
Very different.
Where they show that they have a romantic moment together. He actually, what they show in the show is that he goes in, like you said, when it's not very busy and everything, and I think she was on some pills, is what they showed, because she was
trying to lose
had
weight.
depression and anxiety, and she was losing weight and all of that. And he comforted her in some way, and they actually went to her house. They went on a date, and obviously had like a romantic moment and this and that, and then he went back to her house and they actually had sexual intercourse. And she told him that you have to move in with me because I'm in love with you and this is perfect and all of that. And then he goes back to his house to actually, he gets so convinced by, this is what they show on the show, that he gets so convinced by her words that he goes back home and he packs his bags, but he has that moment where he believes his mother is alive, and he talks to his mother all the while, right?
And the mother
obviously
bashes
says
him,
she's
obviously.
a sin, she's the devil, she's this, she's
It's
that,
obviously a
and
slurs
she
and
is
all
one of the worst women in town, and this is what you're going to do. And he goes back to the store the next day, and she's prepped this meal for him and made a gift for him as well. And he confronts her and says that mother has told me that you are the devil's reincarnation, and how could you convince me to have intercourse with you and all of that. And the gift is actually her brassiere, her lingerie basically. And he decides that he has to kill her because mother has said so. So that's what they portray in the show.
No, actually, he killed her with a 22 caliber gun of her own.
Yes, they do show that, yeah. Because it was hunting season and he has to test it or whatever, or something
Her
like
own
that.
shop, but he had brought a bullet with himself.
Right.
So he uses his own bullet and her gun and kills her behind her shop, like behind her
At a cash counter.
cash counter, and he actually steals $41 also from her, by the way.
Right.
So this part was the part that he got arrested, and Frank Borden accompanied him to the police station. And Bernice Borden actually was a very respected woman, and I'm wondering how, if maybe they don't have any like anyone left from their line of blood, because if it was my family they showed like that. But she was such a hard-working woman who brought out 3 children after the death of her husband, and one of her children becomes the deputy sheriff and all of that. I would definitely sue Netflix. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean,
Just imagine what they showed. You want to know what Bernice actually looked like? The poor woman.
Oh my God. That's a picture of her when she died?
Before she died, my mother.
Oh wow.
She also was born in 1899, 9th of May. So she was 58 years old when she died, but she looked like 70.
Right. Yeah.
But what they show, I am telling you, if it was my family member, I would have sued. I would have. So let's go to Ed's home, accompanying Mr. Art Sherry. What was his name?
Which one are we talking about now?
That sheriff. Art Sherry.
Yeah.
Art Sherry. Art Sherry and his team entered the house. They checked the house. They obviously, when they entered, the house smells like death, smells like shit. It's full of garbage. Everywhere which is not locked is full of cans of food, and garbage and all of that. And then they entered the summer kitchen, and first Archeli thought it's a hog. And then he looked up and he realized that this is Bernice hanging from the hooks
In the home.
in the summer
The
kitchen.
summer.
Where
Okay, which again in the show is portrayed very differently. It's portrayed as an outhouse.
barn. It's
the
a
barn.
barn. Yeah.
Ah,
No.
yes. Okay.
It's a summer kitchen. Is not.
So it's like not the
big
main
and
house.
nice.
It's about 20 meters away.
Yeah. It's just where you do the butchering, and obviously because meat
Right.
smells, and back then they
Right.
couldn't.
A barn, exactly.
Yeah. Barn is much bigger. Summer kitchen is small.
Okay. Oh no,
It's
this
a
was
kitchen.
huge.
Barn is for keeping animals
Oh,
and
so that's
doing
what they
this
made
and
it
that.
out over there anyway.
So Bernice was hanging from the hooks. Her head was cut, and her chest from her neck till her genitalia was opened, and every inter organs have been taken out, and her hands were tightened with a rope. Um, After seeing that, they expected anything, so they entered the house. So let's see what the sheriff found in Ed Gein's house. Whole human bones and fragments, a waste basket made out of human skin covering several chairs which were all over the house, human skulls mounted on bedposts, female skulls, some with the tops sawn off, bows made from human skulls, a corset made from a female torso skinned from shoulders to waist, leggings made from human leg skin, mask made from skin of female heads, Mary Hogan's face mask in a paper bag, Mary Hogan's skull in a box, Bernice Warden's entire head in a burlap sack, Bernice Warden's heart in a plastic bag in front of Gein's potbelly stove, 9 vulvas in a shoebox, a young girl's dress, and the vulvas of 2 females judged to have been about 15 years old, a belt made from female human nipples, 4 noses, a pair of lips, sorry, but it's very funny, a pair of lips on a window shade drawstring, a lampshade made from the skin of a human face, fingernails from female fingers. This is what all was collected from Ed Gein's house.
Okay, that's way more intense than the way they showed it. That is like, I think the only thing, I mean, they showed the vulvas aspect, and what I found extremely disturbing was the nipple thing. He had some obsession with nipples for sure.
Oh yeah, he had one nipple, that I forgot to say. He had one nipple on top of his doorbell ring.
Are you serious?
Sorry, I know I shouldn't laugh, but he was obsessed with nipples, obviously.
Oh my god.
So, Art Shelley went inside to interrogate Ed. He started interrogating him, and for 30 hours, Ed didn't talk. After 30 hours, he made a condition. He said, if you bring me an apple pie with Wisconsin cheddar cheese on top, I will start talking. They brought him the apple pie, and he started talking for 9 hours. Ed confessed to the murder of Mary Hogan. He said, when I entered her tavern, she said, I'm closing the tavern, the bar, please come back tomorrow. I didn't care. I was carrying a 22 caliber shotgun, and 22 caliber rifle, and I shot her, and I don't know how he basically wraps her into a plastic, and he has had a sled with him. He puts Mary on top of the sled and takes her to his home all the way. And
How do people not see this? I don't understand.
people see this, but people don't think it's a body. If he has, I
And
want
it's
to
again
know,
such a small town.
yeah, but I want to know how well he had preserved that body, that even one drop of blood didn't shed on the way. So people think,
If he can
what?
make lamps and chairs out of human skin, I'm sure he can wrap a body well enough.
I think that craft he learned from his father. Maybe this craft he learned from his fucking mother. Anyway, he confessed to Mary Hogan's murder, but he said he doesn't remember Bernice's murder, and he doesn't remember stealing from her. But he didn't basically say, I didn't do it. He said, I don't remember.
Right.
But about I had 7 more cases suspected that he has done. When they brought those up, he said no. He himself asked for a lie detector test, which nowadays everybody knows that lie detector tests are not reliable. Nobody in the court will accept that the results of a lie detector test. And anyway, his response was inconclusive, like they didn't know if he has told the truth or he's lying. Actually, basically got so fed up with Ed that he did a very big mistake and got physical.
And got physical.
Physical. Slammed Ed's head to the wall many times, and because of that, whatever confession they had from Ed Gein was not usable in the court.
So he was being. So are you telling me that he was in the cop station? They were recording it, and he slammed his head
On the wall.
Oh my God.
Because he was fed up.
Right.
Imagine what all he has seen.
Right.
He has gone inside and saw a woman that he used to
Right.
buy his hardware being opened like a deer.
And was also his deputy's mother.
Exactly.
Right.
So he was fed up. I am not defending violence at all.
But and also what I wanted to ask you is, did he actually talk in that funny way? Because if that was also the case, that could frustrate somebody.
No, Ed would talk very slow and like in a low voice, but
Right.
not in a creepy low voice.
Right.
Yeah, he was a babysitter.
Right.
It was fun. Till they found the nipples, it was fun.
Yeah. Multiple definitions of fun in this story.
Yeah. No, he used to be fun till they found those things.
I have so many questions. Oh my God. Okay.
Please.
Anyway. No, I mean because we've been at this story for about 40 minutes now, 45 minutes.
We can go up to 1 hour. It's like
No, I mean, and the show centers, at least what I got from watching the show was obviously his mother was one of the major causes of whatever he did.
His mother is the sole
And
reason.
maybe more than his mother was Adeline, and you haven't said a word about her.
The thing
So
is,
that's what I'm very confused about.
Adeline Watkins, first of all, the beauty they showed. Adeline Watkins was a girl in the city that she was an attention seeker. So when Ed got arrested, she came out and said we went on dates and we were about to get married, and he had proposed to me with a ring that he has stolen from a grave, which we still have not talked about the graves.
Right.
But after the attention became too much, she redacted that statement and said I lied. And with what I researched about Ed. I think Ed Gein was a necrophilic. He was scared of human connections, you know, in a way that he has to actually perform even as a worker. Like why he would babysit, because it's very easy to perform for a child. But if you want to go and get a job as a manager of a store, you have to day talk to people, manage people, this and that. Ed was incapable of all of that. So according to me, he never had a girlfriend.
So the Adeline thing, you feel that when she retracted was the truth that she actually didn't have a relationship with him?
No, I think she was just an attention seeker. See, whenever a mass murderer, a serial killer, or this and that gets arrested, there are millions of people who come out with their statements. He was my best friend. I saw
Right.
this
No, because
one
with
day.
the version that I have seen, obviously she's there right from the beginning,
No.
and she's the one who makes him. Means they
Oh,
showed
no, not at all.
her seeing they showed it in a way where portrayed it in a way where she shows him the pictures of the war and how the massacres used to happen, and that enticed something in him, and how he kept telling her in very subtle ways that he has these certain fetishes, and she not did not stop him from it. She promoted it. So that's how that story of what I have seen went. So that's why I was surprised how you've not mentioned her as yet.
She wasn't. She's not
So
there.
it's just like a made up thing, sort of. Or she was in a very small way, not that big a way.
No, I don't think she was even in touch with them.
Okay.
I just think she wanted that 15 minutes of fame, according to me. After the bashing and all of that,
Right.
his confessions were not usable in the court. But what was in those confessions? And why did Art Shelley become so mad? He was asking he was asking it back to back, that how many people you have killed. It's impossible that you have killed only two. Did you kill your brother? Uh, did you kill this girl? Did you kill that girl? One 8-year-old has gone missing, and he was very strictly thinking that Ed has killed her, and he was very angrily asking him all of this, and Ed answered, no, Plainfield, although it's a small township, it had 3 cemeteries. And he confessed that between the years 1947 to 1952, he has been grave robbing. And he said, like, it happened to him around 40 times. And whenever he would go grave robbing, he would have a fog in his head, and around 30 times of that 40 times, the fog went when he reached the cemetery, so he didn't do anything and went back home. But the other 9, 10 times, they dug up the newly buried bodies. And the count of the bulbos actually matches with his story, and they tried to see if his story is true, and they chose 3 of the graves, and they went and checked them, and first grave empty, nobody in it. Second grave, nobody in it, nobody, not nobody. And third, there were some pieces which made them think that maybe it has come to this grave like after a week, and the body has been a little bit decomposed, so that's why some things have like dropped
Right.
from it. And kudos to Ed Gein. He said, but I never touched the things that their family would bury with them. I never stole their goals, which in the Netflix series they show that he did. He said, I didn't. I never touched anybody's. Like, in Christianity, when people are burying their beloved ones, they usually bury with them a piece of jewelry or
Like a memento, yeah.
memento. They usually put it in their casket or under their casket or on top of it, depends. He said, I never touched those items, which they could be actually very expensive ones. So, since R. Shelley did that very wrong mistake, Ed Gein's lawyer told him that when we go to the court, you say not guilty with the reason of insanity. Ed went to the court and he pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. So in this case, judge usually sends you to the trusted doctors by the court to see if you are actually competent to stand the trial or not. And after Ed went through all of the tests and all, it turned out he is like very badly schizophrenic, and he actually is incompetent to stand trial. And that's when they sent him to Central State Hospital for the criminally insane. But since Ed was not violent, criminally insane people are very violent in that hospital. Since he was not violent, they sent him later to Wapona State Hospital, where he spent the rest of his life until his death from cancer in 1984. So now, what I think about the Netflix show is that, first of all, some things according to me, if you are naming a show a story of this one, it has to be a story of that one, at least from one angle. Like some of the things in this part of Monster, unlike the two before ones, they have not been told. Like they are not even once, like they are not even rumors about them. Like if you watch the Menendez brothers,
Yeah, I was going to talk
there
about
are,
that. The Menendez brothers. So basically, what happened with me, with like, I loved the Menendez brothers season, and the first episode was good for this one with Ed Gein. The second, third, fourth episode, which is the one you were watching on and off, they strayed so much off topic. Of course, it was shot beautifully. The acting is brilliant.
Definitely.
Fabulous acting.
Fabulous, yeah.
But
But the guy is young for it.
I watch a true crime maybe 20% of what you watch, but it threw me off. Like I was like, I want to know this guy's story.
Yeah, and I don't know why they involved poor Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah,
Okay, he was a mama's boy, but he was a mama's boy only. He was
I
not
mean,
a
of course,
hero.
they wanted to do that because of the Silence of the Lambs and all of that.
Psycho was the first movie based on it. I know that, but the thing is, movies based on it, that is another issue which I wanted to talk later, but I'm going to say right now. The biggest problem with the movies based on it is that they try to show that he was a transgender. He was not. Ed was trying to recreate his mother. The deepest, I'm not saying that, this is not obviously my opinion. The biggest psychologists of the world have studied his case, and they all believe that Ed could not live without his mother, and he wanted his mother. The suit that he had made was that, and he had the vulvas disconnected because he used to put them inside the underwear and then wear womanly undergarment and walk and all of that. He didn't want to change his sexuality, his own genitals basically. He just wanted to bring Augusta back because Augusta was the only thing Ed had. And this is why I believe Augusta Gein was the one who made this monster. And I sometimes feel, most of the times actually, I feel very bad for Ed Gein. I know I'm not supposed to. He is a monster. He might be first of all, according to me, he is a serial killer because I believe he killed his brother as well.
Right.
So he reaches 3
Right.
anyway. But he might be actually the killer of the other 7. The only thing is the other 7, he would very strictly say no, but Bernice, he would say, I don't remember.
Right.
And Ed doesn't look like he has a high EQ to be lying very easily. He is very low in EQ, not IQ, EQ.
EQ,
like.
yeah.
So I don't think he was lying about that.
You do land up feeling like, even after watching the show, you do land up feeling sorry for the guy. As much as they portrayed him being a transgender, or they kind of showed that he did definitely kill some more people. It's just, I think it boils down to the fact that he was just a very ill person. He was very ill.
Very badly schizophrenic. Like he actually was hearing his mother.
Yeah.
It's not like he was acting like he actually was hearing his mother even after her death. So my thing is, I think they tried and failed to shoot the series from the point of view of a schizophrenic person.
Right.
Think like those things going and coming and not being sure if it happened, didn't happen, what happened, is this the actual thing or is this the movie, did he actually kill or didn't he kill for the first 4 episodes.
Yes.
I think that was what they tried to do, but as I said earlier, then they could say monster, just Ed Gein, not the story of Ed Gein. The story of Ed Gein is the story I told you. The story of a child who had a very selfish mother who tried to keep her sons for herself because, I don't know, she had mental problems. I have no I couldn't find any background about Augusta Gein. Her maiden name is Wilhelmine, so I think she must be at least half German. But nothing else I could find on her, so I don't know why she was like that. But she was like that, and she created it. And his father, by beating him so much, created it. And Ed is not Jeffrey Dahmer. Ed is not Menendez's brother. If Ed Gein is a monster and you want to tell his story, you have to tell his story the way it was. And this was the way his story was. Namaste.